In this video, we're going to get started with Verus using the Verus desktop GUI wallet. We're also going to browse the different tabs and get a little familiar with what's in the wallet. And then we're going to get started with mining and staking our Verus test coin. Now this is the Verus testnet that we're using, but everything remains the same for the Verus mainnet and as well any other PBaaS chain. So we're using the testnet, and you can too if you want to try everything on testnet. You can join the Verus Discord and you can request a basket of currencies that you can use in Verus DeFi. You can create your own IDs, and then eventually you can define currencies or even blockchains if you want. Well, that's not all going to happen in this video. There's so much with Verus. It's quite incredible, and we're going to take it slow and steady here, one thing at a time. And so first things first, you'll be met with this screen here once you open up your Verus desktop wallet. And if it's your first time, you're going to select a new profile. You're going to create a new profile, I should say. If you're returning, then you're going to select the relevant profile for yourself. So in this case, we're just going to select the testnet PBaaS profile so we don't have to reload and resync the entire chain. And that way we can get started a little quicker. But if it's your first time, when you create your new profile, you're going to be met with an intermediate screen. Before arriving here, you'll be met with a screen that has options for wallet, Verus ID, mining, and multiverse. And so whichever one you click, that's the tab you'll end up on when the wallet opens. So I've clicked on wallet, and so we end up here on this wallet tab. And when it's your first time, it'll be blank. You will not have Verus testnet or any other PBaaS chain running yet. You're going to have to add it. So the first thing you'll do is to add the coin. So you click here on the left side, add coin. And then you're going to choose a coin to add. So you're going to click the drop-down menu. And if you were adding Verus mainnet, you would click Verus, but we're adding Verus testnet, in which case we're going to scroll down all the way down, and we're going to add Verus testnet right here. And then we would click continue and it would add it, but it's already added, so we're going to exit from here. In a future video, we'll show you how to add PBaaS chains and start merge mining and merge staking those chains. But for now, we're going to close this, imagining that we have added the Verus testnet. And so once you add the Verus testnet, here it is. Here we can click on it to bring it up in the wallet tab, because right now we're in the wallet dashboard. And we click on Verus testnet, brings it up in the wallet tab. And we can see here the blockchain status, it's reloading for us. So while we do that, I will just show you. Here it is now connected, 100%. Here's the block height. And if you want to verify that, you can verify it on the testnet explorer. Okay, we already have a balance of VRSC tests because I asked for it in the Verus Discord. But in order for somebody to send a basket of currencies, or even just to send the Verus test, we need to give them a receiving address. So the first thing we'll do, since we don't have an ID set up yet, a friendly name ID to give, we're going to start by giving them an R address. So we go to receive here in the transparent balance, click receive. And you can either create a new public address, or you can use the pre-existing address that's here, and you'll copy that. So I created a new address. It was this one right here, and then I copied it here like this, copied the address to the clipboard, and then I pasted it in Discord. And shortly thereafter, we were sent a nice amount of VRSC tests to begin playing around with Verus testnet and trying all of the different features, including privacy features, Zcase, Narcs, privacy transactions. Okay. Now, after you've received an amount of Verus test, if you've received a basket of currencies, you'll also see it here in this drop-down menu on the left-hand side. So right now, the currency that we're showing is Verus test, and you can see it over here. Okay, but if we open up the drop-down, we're going to see a whole bunch of different other currencies. We were sent some KMD, some BTC, some gold, and we were sent some euro. Maybe USD. Yep, we were sent 1K, 1000 USD. So if we, let's say, click on USD, boom, here's our USD balance in our wallet. Now, we still have this amount of Verus test. It's going to be the native coin of the chain is going to always show up top, and then your balance of whatever token you are looking at is going to show up over here. And the drop-down menu allows you to toggle through the different, or cycle through the different tokens that you have. For example, KMD. Okay, so for now we're going to leave it at Verus test, and we're going to explore a little bit more the different tabs. Here's in the wallet tab where you can convert currencies relating to Verus DeFi, and we're going to get to that in another video. The next tab is the Verus ID tab. We will, well, we can get rid of these for now. We will commit names and register identities using the GUI in a future video. And we will also, well, once we get to the coin settings, I'll show you we can do it also through the terminal, the native terminal in the GUI wallet. But the GUI makes it relatively easy to do it just by hitting some buttons. If you use the native terminal, things become more nuanced, and you have more control over the transactions and the way that you interact with Verus network. So this is the Verus ID tab. We'll go through it more when we do the Verus ID video, okay, how to create a Verus ID using the GUI. The next tab is the mining tab, and this is where we're going to start merge mining and staking once we have PBaaS chains. But even before that, Verus allows for onboarding, direct onboarding through mining, CPU mining. You can even mine on your phone. And then staking as well. So since we have a balance that we can stake with, normally you're going to find the mining tab like this, mining dashboard, and it's going to look like this at the mining dashboard. And then you can either click Verus test here, or you can open it up here, down here. So we're going to click open over here, and that opens up for Verus test. We see the network information here, like the hash rate and the current block height. We can corroborate that with our wallet block height here. Okay, back to the mining tab. The block height, we know when the last block was mined or staked. And there's the estimated total supply, and we know the block reward here. Okay, so we also, there's so many options here. Bridge Keeper will come around later once we've got that Ethereum bridge up. But for now, we're just looking at Verus testnet, and we're going to open up the staking, and we're also going to open up the mining tab here. Okay, so because we have a balance of Verus test, about 931 Verus test, we're going to start staking that right now. So we're going to click staking, and now it's on. Now, usually you have to wait 150 blocks before the UTXOs are eligible for staking, and you can spend them at any time. They're not locked anywhere. It's just that they need to be 150 confirmations before they are eligible for staking. And once those 150 confirmations are met, then they can stake. And every time a UTXO is staked, it finds a stake, that UTXO again is ineligible for the next 150 blocks. And because Verus is UTXO chain, all the different UTXOs are eligible for staking. So even though we're staking 931 Verus, they might be staking. They might be staking in several different UTXOs. It might not just be one UTXO of 931.93 Verus, Verus test in this case. So in the staking overview, we can also see what are some estimated rewards or earnings or whatever you want to call it that we could get daily, monthly, yearly. So with this amount of Verus test, we're not expecting a huge staking reward, but we also have the opportunity to mine with Verus. So when we scroll down here, we have the mining overview. We're just going to choose one thread to mine on Verus testnet because we don't, it's just a testnet. We're not trying to overwhelm with hash rate and create difficulty adjustments that are needed and such. Now with this machine, it's probably not going to make a difference. But if you've got, a 40 mega hash machine, that's like almost half the network hash rate. That could cause problems if you go offline. So. Yeah, and with one thread, I mean, we're able to get 1 or 2 blocks per day. It looks like, oh, look, no, it's telling us we might even get 12 blocks a day. Interesting. Okay, so there you go. Estimated earnings for mining, potentially getting over 13 blocks a day of Verus test. All right, so now we've started mining and staking our Verus test. And it's that simple and that easy. We're solo mining and we're solo staking this Verus test. Congratulations. Okay, so that's it for the mining tab for now. Again, in future, we'll be merge mining and staking. And to do that, we'll add a PBaaS chain. But that's for a future video. Okay, so we've looked at the wallet tab, we've looked at the Verus ID tab, we've looked at the mining tab, and now we are going to look at the multiverse tab. The multiverse tab shows us all the different chains that are running. We can take a look at one of them by clicking on it. For example, we'll look at Quantum. We'll add this one in a future video, and it gives us some details about Quantum. And when we close that, we can also search all the currencies that are available on the Verus testnet. Now, remember, or maybe you don't know, that each of these named blockchains and each of these named currencies that we've now pulled up here, each of these named currencies are created from a Verus ID. And so, for example, you can see Alex_album4. You can see brand name. These are permanent tokens of different characteristics that have been created using IDs. And so, the brand name ID created this token, defined the token, and Alex_album4 defined this token. So we'll get more into that in the future DeFi and multiverse video. But for now, as you can see, tokens like CFC, Chad, Chad2, they are all here showing in this menu. Okay, so that's that. This is the multiverse tab. It's a way to get in to look at more details about the different tokens and the different currencies and blockchains. And so, for example, if we look at brand name, for example, we can see that it's a permanent token with 12,000 supply, and we can add that currency. But we'll get into that in another video. Just to see a different example, we can look at nice name, which is a different kind of currency. As you can see, it's convertible. And it's convertible from 4 currencies, including this one, which is the I address. We'll get into that when we talk about IDs, but this is the Verus testnet. So this is Verus test coin. And then it's also convertible with gold, with Influencer 22, and with that aforementioned brand name token. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, really excited to get more into this, but that's for another video. So that's about it for the Multiverse tab. The last thing actually is going to be visualizing the network. I'll give a quick preview, but this is really cool and exciting, and we'll dedicate a bit more time to this in a future video. Once we click on Visualize Network, it'll open up a network visualization which shows the different tokens, currencies, and the different blockchains in the Verus network. Verus network is made up of, in this case, Verus test chain, which we see right here, but it's also made up of all the rest of the PBAS chains, and so those ones are in different colors. So Verus test is in this kind of yellowish color here, and then all of these different connected nodes here, these are the different different currencies, whether they're basket currencies or different kinds of currencies, tokens. And you can see what they're connected to, what they're convertible with. And you can see, for example, the other chains, PBAS chains. We have Andromeda, we have Chips 10 sec, we have Quantum, and we have over here, we have Gravity. And then you can see, for example, Quantum doesn't really have any other tokens associated or currencies associated with it except for its bridge currency, which the bridge currency is connected to VRSC test. And same thing with Andromeda, same thing with Chips 10 sec, and same thing with Gravity. And then you can also see a bunch of other tokens out in the wild here that are not connected to anything, but you can tell, for example, they are on Verus testnet because of the same color. What do we have here? We have, if we get closer a bit, it's so far away. If you can see that, it's Ivan test album and tokenized control sub ID. So these are some tokens that are not convertible to anything. Yeah, so that's the visualizer. It's really cool, and we'll get more into that possibly in another video, but I'm going to close that for now. And that's the whole network. It's visualizing on-chain network. So that's pretty fascinating, and it's a testament to the Verus architecture and what it's able to do. Okay, so I think that's it for the Multiverse tab. I don't really have anything else to show here. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're good. We're going to move over here. We can change and display the currency name. We're going to keep it as USD, but if you want to change the currency name to something else on the main net, it's where it makes a difference. On the test net, you don't really have any dollar equivalent to these currencies and tokens. They're not valued on a market basis, a free market basis type of a thing. Okay, the next important tab is going to be the settings tab. And when we click on settings, we have options here. We'll get into another time, but you can launch or have certain commands in here that will, or parameters in here that will, for example, start staking or start mining with a certain number of threads every time that you open the wallet. But what I really want to show here is the coin settings. Okay, so we're in the profile settings of the settings tab. Next is the general settings. All right, nothing necessary to really look at here, but coin settings is where some really cool magic can happen, because within the coin settings there's actually a native terminal, and in the native terminal we can basically run all the commands that are available in Verus network for any of the chains. You can run it on the Verus testnet chain, or if you're doing something on a PBAS chain, you would just drop it down and you would choose the relevant PBAS chain. Now, these are not PBAS chains. This is something different, part of the multi-coin wallet. But once we have other chains running, we can choose a different chain. So when you are using the native terminal, make sure that you don't keep it on Verus. Otherwise, you might get an error, or you might do something on the mainnet when you're trying to do it on the testnet only, if you're running both of them. So in this case, we choose Verus testnet, and then we would type in our commands. And so we'll be using this to define currencies and to create sub IDs and to do some other cool stuff. So for now, though, that's it. Just wanted to show you there's a native terminal in here as well. And that's it. I hope that this has been helpful for you. The next button here is to log out, and I think that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, let's just reverse ourselves back to the multiverse, back to the mining tab. Here we have our staking, and we're mining. Back to the Verus ID tab. We will be here in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Back to the wallet tab. And now we're going to finally log out. And once we've logged out, back to the profile page. And thank you for watching this video. Hope it's been helpful, and stick around for more. We're just getting started with Verus.